Actually, I was with one trade boy who, we sitting up there just kicking it like in the bed or whatever. And he was like, why you don't never like just be like this? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I think that people love you regardless, right? And he was like, I think like if they just saw you like this, that they would still love you either way, just like how I do. And I think that was honestly his first time telling me that he loved me too, or whatnot. And it kind of like struck a chord. And then shortly thereafter, I went to school in San Francisco, and I was around a whole bunch of gay people. And I always tell folks that was the most liberating experience of my life, because I think in San Francisco is where I found my swag.
So hey guys, welcome back to Life with Jay and Joe. So just to let you know how this is gonna work, we're gonna do a lot of talking about Juneteenth, what it is, Tweety's event, and we're also gonna be asking Tweety some questions about his dating life.
And you want to know why? Because inquiring minds want to know.
Right, and I definitely want to know. And so we're going to mix it up. So you're going to hear some Juneteenth questions, and we're also going to get some very good, deep dating questions.
I knew
we just want to know your business.
I knew that this was going to happen. Didn't I say it? Didn't I say it?
And so if we feel like we want to know your business, we should share your business with the world.
Yes.
Something that we just learned about you recently, and we waited to ask you on camera because we're just that messy. So we were talking to someone. I won't say who the person was, but we were having a conversation with someone, and
he's just gonna stick it in with no.
Yeah, I know.
And it came up that somebody that has appeared on our channel does porn. So we were a little confused trying to figure out who on the channel did porn.
A lot confused.
And they didn't know your name, but they said the guy, he has dreads and he was on your channel.
You should have asked them what the porn name was.
We thought about it. We was like, well, I think only one person that's been on our channel had dreads, right? It's only been one, right?
It has only been one, but they was calling him cartoon names.
Oh, they said like cartoon names. So we put it. So we figured out that it was you. So they said you have done porn on Twitter. So is that true or is that false?
And tell our family how to find it. I know the people want to know.
What's the screen name? What do you search for? Well, first, is it true?
Okay, so porn. Let's talk about porn, right? So I never actually got to do porn, for real.
So it's not true?
No.
So they lied.
I mean, it you know what? This is a gray area. All right. So
it is true.
Let me spill it, doggone. God doggone it.
Black hole.
Okay, so
no pun intended.
So I never actually really got a chance to actually do porn. I did do a screen test with Enrique Cruz, like back in the day. Like,
did that involve
actually having sex with somebody?
Yeah.
Yes, I did too.
Is that out?
No, I don't think that it ever really actually got out. And to tell you the truth, I was so young back in the day. I'm not even sure.
Cruz and see what he got.
I'm not even sure, like, if I had signed releases and stuff like that, because I was young, like just young, dumb, and wild and out there or whatnot. But if we're talking about Twitter, the Twitter page that was the juicy page, the one that had like over 40,000 people or whatever on there, that one got deleted.
So you did porn on Twitter?
I did not do porn. What I had was some selective hot, juicy videos.
Were you in the videos?
I was.
So were you doing sexual stuff in a video with another person? In the nude that you put on Twitter? I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out because I feel like you're like going around.
No. I had already answered that. I had said yes. I think you trying to cook it up more.
Do you say yes?
These videos, listen.
Did you say yes?
I believe that I said yes.
I don't think you said yes.
Okay, so did I do porn? Did I do porn?
Professionally?
Professionally, no.
No, the professionally. But did you do porn?
The Twitter page, they had all the juicy videos. Yes, they were up on there. But that paycheck got deleted, and then when I created another page, I was inside of a relationship. So it was not as spicy as the first one or whatnot. And it's probably why I haven't even reached nowhere near the same.
Spicy too?
This page that I have,
Going to give the people the name so they
It
know what they're
actually
going to look for.
it has some stuff on there. No. It got some stuff on there. Like half of the stuff that people be finding, I don't know how they be finding it, because like I can't go further down or whatever, but they be finding stuff for like when I first made the page or whatever. Like if you go into where I first made the page and shit like that, and yeah, I mean, because some of those things I did recycle and put on, because you know, like most of the time, like, well, I don't know if y'all know, like, but usually if you get kicked off, of one of the social sites, when you make you another one, you start to try to like build that page back up, and you usually take the stuff from your old page and you put that up back on there. And the stuff that was inside of my phone, some of those things I put back on there, and some of those things I didn't, mainly because I was I was inside a relationship. But nonetheless, I don't have none.
The story is you did do porn on Twitter.
No. The moral of the story is your friend need to stay out my motherfucking business.
And the second moral of the story is, if you got it, I know you saved it, put it up for everybody to see.
What is Juneteenth?
So Juneteenth is actually the Freedom Day. Juneteenth is the actual day that blacks were freed of chattel slavery, chattel settlement, or whatnot, slavery, period. There was the day that they was told that, you're not a slave anymore. And folks took to the streets and they celebrated it. And the next year they made rules that they couldn't do it or else they'd be hung. But with inside of that, the real reason of Juneteenth is for us to celebrate our actual day of independence. 4th of July was not our day. You were still slaves on 4th of July. Juneteenth is our day.
So that's good to know.
No, I was just going to ask, so when they were able to celebrate it, they only actually got to bask in that ambiance for one time before they made it illegal.
Actually, okay, so as history has showed us, they were freed, right? The next year they celebrated it, right? And they celebrated in such an occasion that it was considered the original Black joy or whatnot. And white folks didn't like that, of course. So the next year, I believe that was during the time of Jim Crow. And it was, if you celebrated, if you did any of this or whatnot, did you be hung?
What did you learn about yourself after your last relationship ended?
What I realized and had to come to grips with is, because I always say, I want somebody who's not going to make me their world, but, I can be an addition to. I realized that I have a tendency to make someone my world.
So do the exact opposite that you asked
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? Like, I already have a life. There's a lot of things that I already do that I enjoy doing, right? Instead of them being an addition, I center everything around them.
Everything seems to shift.
I center everything around them, and I want to make sure that they're comfortable with me doing the things that I have already done.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Oh, yes.
I don't think so.
No. Compromise. Compromise is a good thing.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
Surrender is.
So I think that then it becomes like a thin line between the two, right? So you have to figure out a healthy balance between compromise and surrender.
Okay, for me, there wasn't a real healthy balance because the main focus was keeping them happy.
Got it.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think when it comes to stuff like that, it's not about, like, I don't think you should make them your world, but I think you should include them in your world.
And that's what it should have been.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been. But you're talking about what did I realize about myself that I did, or that, you know what I mean?
Is that something you still do now?
Well, I'm not in a relationship now. What I will say is that I've definitely acknowledged it, and I want to say that I've made provisions, or I think that I have done the work with mental health, like, counseling and stuff like that if I get inside of another relationship, when I get inside of another relationship, that I don't make that same mistake or whatnot. But I also don't want to make that same, I don't want to be an asshole
to the next person.
Right. Because I'm trying not to make that same mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't want to come in with a bias or fever for shit that not even the ex had done, because in actuality it's what I had done. You get what I'm saying? But like, you know, just patterns. We have patterns within inside of our lives, and it could either be something that's learned or something that we've grown up and seen. And you know, what we say that we want to be the opposite of, 9 times out of 10, we end up being that thing, or we, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that's true.
Like the kid to say, I don't want to be like the parent, but then become the parent.
Oh, absolutely.
The exact replica.
Or inside of our own gay community, like saying, I'll never do someone like how my ex did me, and then turn around and
do
become
worse.
just like how your ex was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Why did you decide to create a Juneteenth event?
So I started out to do it. I wasn't thinking about like creating an event. I wanted to help with somebody's event, like, you know what I'm saying, help it be the best that it could be. But what angered me was that most nonprofits that I worked with, or that I did work with, never did anything for Juneteenth, which really pissed me off, because I'm like, bitch, y'all a Black nonprofit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all a Black nonprofit. Like, how are you doing all these other events for all these different other things, but you don't have one for Juneteenth? That just didn't make any sense to me.
When you meet someone new, what's their first impression of you?
You know, it's annoying. No. It's annoying because, like, I believe that people have like a set stereotype that they look for, that they look to be for, or whatnot. I have a lot of street attributes to, I guess, what would be considered my swag or my everyday, and so the main misconception is that I'm trade or straight adjacent or whatnot. It used to hurt my feelings when folks would be like, oh, you know, I really thought that you was hot piece, and then you open your mouth, and I was like, oh, girl. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
But no, I mean, like, you know, hey, we vicious.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I was going to say it another way.
But I got me some tough skin. I have been inside of this game since I was 12, you know?
But I don't think you talk like a girl.
No.
What is it? Did they expect your voice to be deeper? Or?
Probably.
I don't think it's the deeper. So what I think it is, I think that if you look at him like on the surface level, you would not expect him to use the words that maybe I would use, like girl, or you ate that, or
also like
you
the gay
chewing
lingo.
it, the lingo. And
Gotcha.
because you're fluent with the lingo and it comes out so easily and so naturally, I think that's what throws them off.
But even still, like, the way I say girl may not be the way you say girl.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And if the way that you may say, oh, you ate that, may not still be the same way that I say that I ate that.
Yeah.
But the fact that I had said it, you know what I'm saying?
It's what throws them off.
Yeah.
But that doesn't
you even
make
know
any
what it
sense,
is.
because now straight people say all the gay lingo.
Which is true. Which is like, that's the most craziest thing, for people to be so homophobic, but to not see how your whole livelihood is tethered with inside of gay culture.
What work went into creating last year's Juneteenth event on that scale?
The planning and knowing exactly what it was that I wanted. Like, you know what I mean? Because like I knew that I wanted to do something, but I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do. In my family, we're, you know, tight. We're tight. You know, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, you know, rose-colored glasses, but we're tight. You know what I'm saying? And we cook. All of us cook or whatnot. Father's Day, we do a cook-off.
Okay.
So what I did was I asked my family's blessing that I could mirror it to do this event. Because I didn't want it to be just a regular old cookout or whatnot, mainly because they always inviting folks who don't need to be at the cookout to the cookout. So, you know, but the whole idea that I knew I wanted to do was to expose those who had talents and see them grow with inside of it. A lot of us do plates and, you know, do a lot of different other things. And I also wanted to include the children. And most of the time, kids not really cooking, but they do make the Kool-Aid and the lemonade. So, you know, I wanted to include some of everybody. I also wanted to have like the regular games that, you know, we have when we get around our family. So that was the reason why I put those competitions up within that. And bingo for my older folks, because usually, you know, they end up first. They be their own time.
Yeah.
They be their own time. So that's why we do the bingo first, you know, or whatnot. So yeah, like everything that went into the doing it the first time seemed pretty easy when I look back on it. It seemed easy putting it together. The hard part was gaining more sponsors.
How do you feel when someone's first question is if you're top, bottom, or verse?
Do people ask you that?
They do. They do. Usually when people ask me that, I usually say whichever one you're not interested in. Because for me, it could be a turnoff for different reasons.
Yeah.
Different reasons. Like, I feel that there's no justification of asking me top, bottom, verse if you're going to treat me asking you about getting tested in your status as if it's taboo, right? I feel like that's the oxymoron to me. You feel completely comfortable asking that question, but then when I go to asking that question, they be, oh, whoa, this conversation has shifted. Like,
That's such a personal question.
yeah, you get me? Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. And also, I feel like, you know, because they be like, oh, well, I don't want to waste no time. I want to know exactly what I'm dealing with. Then obviously you ain't been paying attention to me. Obviously you haven't been paying attention, because I feel like if you're going to date, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of effort, but I think that people are so programmed and used to everything being
Easy.
and put in their face
Easy. Mm-hmm.
and given to them that they don't know how to assert themselves. They don't know how to actually like be attentive or to show interest. Because that's the
Or
basic.
even pay attention.
Oh my God, that's the basic thing.
Yeah.
Don't hit me up on social media and it say on my profile all day, Miami, 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 and then you hit me up in my DM, where are you from? The
So you
fuck?
didn't read?
The fuck? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, for me it is an annoying question. Sometimes I answer it, sometimes I don't. But it's like if half the time I may want to dig in your back, but if you ask me that question, then I've already done changed my mind from it. You know what I'm saying? Because and for me, for a person like me, it's really easy because half the time, most of you bitches, I don't you already inside my head. That's what keeps me out of your bed. That's what keeps me
You better
not
rhyme.
having.
You gotta be over here
Listen,
rhyming.
effortless bars.
You better be over here rhyming.
Listen,
Yeah,
for
we can't do
real.
them all over here.
How did you feel about last year's event being stopped by the lightning strike?
I don't think that it's a bit of a secret that it was a traumatic event.
Yes.
Right? It was good until it wasn't. And I think the most scariest part about that was that it wasn't even raining at the time that it happened, right?
True.
So I took it hard, mainly because it was my event. And the first thing I was thinking was, not my event. Like, really, my event? Like, and then not somebody that, you know, I fucks with on a regular, you know, like, so, you know, when it's your people, you know, it's a whole different realization to things or whatnot.
Team 7 coverage continues with Nicole Ensalada there at Fort Lauderdale Park, where somebody was possibly struck by lightning, Nicole?
Yeah, Mills Pond Park here just a couple of hours ago, Lynn. They were having and you can see that they're starting to break it down now. It's almost virtually done at this point, which of course you would understand with the weather, but they were having a Juneteenth celebration when all of this happened. Let's go ahead and show you some video. The Ujima Men's Collective of Fort Lauderdale was sponsoring this event, and they said they had about 100 folks out here. They had a cooking contest all lined up for their Juneteenth celebration. They had an MC. Everything was going well. And then, as you know, you can see when we ever have this kind of weather and you've got outdoor events, of course, things start to go wrong. And that's what was happening. And folks were starting to scramble and huddle under a pavilion when apparently the person that had been hired to be the MC, according to the folks who were here and the organizers, was struck by lightning. They said they felt the lightning, they saw it hit, and everybody started to disperse. And that's when they realized that one person had been hit. Go ahead and take a listen.
He fell and we were just like, oh my God. And that was it. And we called 911, so we were on the phone calling them. Several people were calling 911. We're trying to make sure that he was going to be okay. And prior to the ambulance getting here, he actually was responsive.
So that is certainly the good news in all of this. Their event may have been washed out because of all of this, and one person was hurt, but they say that they're fairly confident, based on how he was doing when he headed to the hospital, that he was going to be okay because he was talking. They're waiting to get an update as well. If we have any information, we'll bring it to you. But for now, it does look like, even though it could be a very dangerous situation with the kind of lightning that we've been seeing and how frequent we get it, that this person was hit, but it looked like he was responsive when he was heading to the hospital. Reporting live in Fort Lauderdale, Nicole Enchilada, 7.
I knew coming into this year, because whenever you do anything, like you all know, like if you throwing an event or throwing party or whatever the case may be, you always be like, well, the next party, X, Y, and Z not gonna happen because of whatever happened with the first one. So with this one, I wanted to make sure that I had shelter. I wanted to make sure that it was close to a bathroom. I wanted to make sure that it was close visually for folks and easy access or whatnot.
No large bodies of water.
Huh?
No large bodies of water.
Well, I mean, we are close to the lake, but in all honesty, getting the MC bag, knick-knack, knick-knack bag, I want to say it was easy. Knick-knack he was the one who helped me get out of my funk or whatnot. I don't know if he noticed it, because like I was calling him every day, like, just checking on him or whatnot. And I want to say about like a month later, he was just like, he had, the feeling that I wasn't right or whatever. Maybe I had dropped off the scene. I'm not sure if I did or not. I probably did, because I was to myself or whatnot. But he saw it. He gave me some encouraging words. He also kicked me in my butt or whatnot, because he was like, I'm out and about. I got to live my life, to the fullest or whatnot. This didn't shake me. It didn't, take me down. And so when I told him that I was doing it again, he was like, oh, well, I'll be there. So it wasn't like I even had to ask him to be the MC again. It was, I guess, common knowledge. Like, oh, bitch, I know you're not having it without me. Like,
Got you.
And I love that, and I'll forever love him for that.
Do younger or older people ask more inappropriate questions?
My God, it's a combination. It's a combination. The young folks only do it because they're doing what they see and what they, what they think is hot piece.
Right.
The older generation is doing it because they're trying to keep up with the younger generation. You know what I mean? Because your old big ass better not tell me, oh, I don't want to waste no time, whatever. You're already wasting time because you're not applying everything that you've already learned within inside of these years. You get what I'm saying?
Maybe they just came out. Making excuses.
But the sad part is that most generally they're looking for somebody that they look good on social media.
Arm candy.
You know what I'm saying? That they look good with in social media, not necessarily what look. Because I done dated some folks that we looked real good together, but we were so horrible together. You know what I mean? And most of the time with these relationships nowadays, that's exactly what it is.
So they're looking for visibility instead
absolutely.
of comparability.
Absolutely.
Is it
But I also think when you first start talking to somebody, a lot of it is based on looks in the beginning anyway. So I can see how that.
I think that's only true for like the first
certain people.
30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first 30 minutes. Like I could find you attractive for the first 30 minutes, but now I want to get. Now I know you cute, so now let's talk about it. Can you hold the conversation with me?
It has to be more. It has to be more.
A lot of times, that first interaction, sometimes, well, not even sometimes, a lot of times that leads to sex right off the bat.
Which is true.
So
that's
but
true.
after
you start getting to know the person after you've already probably had sex with them.
That's true.
You know the reason why people say that y'all been together for 18, 20-something years or whatever is because like they know that after that first week, they've already done sucked and everything on out. You get what I'm saying? So after that first week, like they don't have anything else to look forward to. But y'all to have been together for all of this time You know what I'm saying? They like, well, damn, bitch, they did more. It's more there. Like, you get what I mean? Like, a lot of them, they don't fathom to see it past that. That's why most of these relationships, 6 months is like a real goal.
Who are your sponsors for this year's Juneteenth event?
My main three, Ujima Men's Collective, the Mckenzie Project, as well as Transinclusive Group. This year, Legacy Builders have stepped up, which is also an organization that I'm a part of, as well as my Masonic Lodge, New Era Lodge 69 in Fort Lauderdale. And also we have AfroPride, which we wanted last year, that declined because we were already working with someone else that they had a conflict with. And if you notice, I didn't name them people. So I'm not even dealing with them now this time around. It wasn't a pleasant experience. And it sucks because they are one of the main folks inside of the gay community, especially, that always talk about unity, unity, unity.
How do you deal with rejection in dating or sexual situations?
I've been rejected plenty. I've been stood up for dates. I have been told flat out that they don't want me or whatnot. And how do I respond to it?
Does it hurt?
It does.
That's when I should have had my shirt. Girl, fuck you.
Yes. But no, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like it don't hurt. It does hurt. But at the same token, I have to realize who I am and what I have to offer, or whatnot. And I have to, no matter how badly I may have wanted it, I have to remind myself that maybe this just wasn't it for me.
Do you think that for us in the community that we share, that rejection is kind of like the norm because everything is just so easily accessible and like everywhere?
I think nowadays everything is so shallow. I think that everything is so shallow that rejection is more popular. And I feel like that's exactly why people don't necessarily take the time out to actually engage in a seriousness for a relationship. They will engage on social media apps and definitely on sex hookup apps. I mean, they may, oh, I'm not necessarily on here for sex, baby. Within that first week.
I don't even know how I would ever be able to date in the world today, like how it is today. Like, I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with the whole dating thing now, because I can imagine how difficult it is, because especially with social media, and it's so easy to find different people.
I don't know. The thing with me is like I don't care about the competition, because I like, in all honesty, like, and this is just something about me. Like, you could find you another person up on the net or whatever the case may be, but that nigga, that dude ain't me.
But not even
he ain't me. He can't do what I do. He ain't got what I got. Like, I just, like, you know what I mean?
Well, for me,
if it is what it's gonna be, it's gonna be.
If I'm not even thinking as far as like competition between other people, I just feel like now, and I don't know because I'm not in a dating pool, but just from looking at it, it seems like most people don't even take it as serious because it's, they go online.
They have plenty options.
Right. And then it's like, it was already hard back then, like trying to find somebody and be serious with who actually wants to be serious with you. But now I feel like, if I'm looking at it, it looks like it will be harder to actually find that person that really wants to be.
Better off being the heart surgeon.
It is hard though. Like dating right now is really hard because you got to skim through all the bullshit, and trust me, it's a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of people who don't know how to take accountability. There's a lot of people who are really good people, but they done close themselves off because they either feel that they're not gonna find nobody, or they feel that they don't want to go through, skimming, sifting through the bullshit. So I mean, like dating now is a horror. It really is. Rejection, yes, and dealing with people who don't necessarily know how to date, who don't really actually even know how to hold a conversation outside of social media.
How can the community help make this year's event bigger than last year's?
They can not worry about who's coming,
Just come.
just decide to come. They can not worry about who's gonna sit up there and judge them or pick at whatever it is that they cook, if they cook,
Yeah.
and get inside of the registration for the cook-off.
Yeah, just come out there and cook.
Yeah,
Come out there and play games.
play the games. You
Bring
know
your
what I'm
family,
saying?
bring your friends.
Yeah.
We'll be out there, Life with Jay and Joe.
With the camera.
Definitely with the camera.
So
Yes.
So you might end up on our next YouTube video.
Okay. Listen, because we already know that the Uno and the spades tables can be lit, because they were lit last year. So we already know, grab your partner, join in the registration or whatnot, because for each thing that you do, there's a trophy and a cash prize.
Yeah.
Do you think having sex early in a relationship can mess it up?
I feel that sex makes things cloudy, because I feel that love is in such a high demand that people don't necessarily know the initial keys for love. What they do know is sex, because everything has been overpopularized and oversexualized. You know what I mean?
Right.
So once you add that sex within inside of that, then they perceive it as love when it really isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's just good sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it makes things completely more complicated or whatever. If I can sit up here and have a good time with you and there's no sex involved, and I still can't wait for the next time that I see you again, that's a hobby.
Yeah, that says a lot.
That's something
That's a
that,
keeper.
you get what I'm saying? That's something to really get into or whatnot. And the fact that sex wasn't introduced into it. You get what I'm saying? I mean, because there's already the attraction. Why not build it up so that when you do have sex with them, because in truth, okay, say for instance that y'all not together, right? You may have some good sex and you may have some good sex, but when y'all have sex together, it may not actually like come together or whatever, mainly because you used to doing this and you used to having such and such done or whatever, right?
yeah.
Let me ask this of y'all. From when y'all first started having sex to now when y'all have sex, ain't it better?
I think it's better because there's a lot more emotion involved.
Not just because of the emotion, but you've taught him what you actually really get into.
Good
And
point.
you taught him
Good
what
point.
you get what I'm saying?
You know how to do it.
Exactly. Without you even saying
Yeah.
it. You get
Just
what
know
I mean?
where to go immediately.
Right off the rip.
That's true.
And
I
that-
didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Because we build and we mold our people. We build and we mold our people.
And that takes time.
It does. It does. And by the time that it's actually there, it's good and miraculous. And by that time, bitch, I got the hook in your jaw. And then,
Ain't no going nowhere.
Ain't no going nowhere.
We're going to work this out.
Hello?
Sit your ass down.
Yeah. Because that's what Brandy said. You ain't going nowhere.
Is this event only for the LGBTQIA plus community?
It's led by Black-led organizations within inside the LGBTQ community or whatnot. Is it a gay event? No, it isn't. It's led by us. We saw the need. Now, would I love for all my gay folks to show up? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Would I love for straight Black folks to show up? Hell yeah. Because for one, if you really think about it, at the end of the day, we're all within inside of the struggle. We all are together. Yeah. And you can't necessarily call yourself or say that you're pro-Black and you disregard us.
Agreed.
I agree.
Break it down. Say it one more time for the people in the back. Just in case you missed it.
Seriously, I think like that, because it really grinds my gears, especially me being as pro-Black as I am, with me being gay. Like I've met straight folks who tend to say that they are pro-Black, and we could be on the same page and having a good conversation, and then the fact that they find out that I'm gay or that I love men as well, like they like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like
mean?
that
Like
changes
the
anything.
whole, and it's like, so for one, I'd be like, oh, you got a switch. You could turn it on and off like that. Like, you know what I mean? Because the crazy bit to me is that I don't think that they see that they treat us how whites treat all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Liv?
I agree with that. And then the minute something happens to the straight community, the minute there's some kind of brutality, they want all of us to stand
All of
with
us are
them.
staying.
But no,
And the crazy thing is that we're on the forefront.
yeah,
If it's not us, then it's black women, you know?
Yeah.
Because most of the time, either they don't want to or they don't care to.
Do masculine gay men start off more feminine and transition later in life?
When I first came out, right, I was extremely feminine. And I hung with drags or, the girls, right? In truth, like I was telling them, like, when I first came out, like my whole perception of gay was completely wrong or whatnot. I felt like I was supposed to be the bottom because I'm gay. I'm supposed to do this or whatever. And two, the people who I was hanging with, they were mostly bottoms and they were overtly flamboyant. So this was the behavior of what
it
I
was
was
the
supposed.
norm.
That was what
you
it.
thought.
That was what it was supposed to have been.
These were
or
older
whatnot.
people you were around?
Yes, because mind you, when I came out, I was super young. So of course they was older than me anyway. Of course I'm going to look up to them or whatever. I think
Do
I
what they do.
had like, they was my gay mamas. They didn't know they was my gay mamas, but pretty much because like, I didn't see them as peers. I saw them as the folks who, what I'm saying, made things happen. Most of them were entertainers and,
Yeah.
were doing their things or whatnot. It wasn't until I went away actually to get with school. And then actually I was with one trade boy who, we sitting up there just kicking it like in the bed or whatever. And he was like, why you don't never like just be like this? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I think that people love you regardless, right? And he was like, I think like if they just saw you like this, that they would still love you either way, just like how I do. And I think that was honestly his first time telling me that he loved me too or whatnot. And it kind of like struck a chord. And then shortly thereafter, I went to school in San Francisco and I was around a whole bunch of gay people. And I always tell folks that was the most liberating experience of my life because I think in San Francisco is where I found my swag. I found, who I wanted to be and how I wanted to be. And then also after the relationship, I had to build myself up, from the ground up or whatever. So what you get now is the finished product of me just being comfortable with inside of me. And I said all that to say, like, inside of the conversation that I was having with the person, they were asking me, how do I feel about people who was once really feminine and now they show this butch side of themselves or whatever, and that it usually falls flat or how people receive it or whatnot. I said the difference between me and them, right, is that I'm not necessarily looking for how somebody is going to receive it. And I think the reason why people look at my transition, if you call it that, as genuine is because I'm not trying to throw it in your face. I'm not trying to be something else. I'm just living like every day. Like my I guess swag would just be that, just my swag. Like, this is how I present myself. Like, I do what makes me comfortable now. I don't do whatever to please no masses, or I don't think, oh, this gonna look real thug if I do this. You know what I'm saying?
what you're saying.
Like, you know what I mean? Whereas for some others who have done this, they try to go out their way to be extra, masculine or whatever. And I feel like that's where the rift shows, or that's where, you know what I'm saying?
And that's when it starts to look fake.
Right, because
I think the majority of us started off at one point or another, like being started off on one spectrum or another, and then made the switch. Like, I feel like almost everybody, maybe not everybody, but I feel like a lot of us start off a little bit feminine because that's what we thought gay meant. And then as we grew and realized who we were, what we like, what we want, it switched for one reason or another.
Or another
I just feel like I feel like that is like common.
common.
Well, for me, I don't think I started off feminine. So when I first went to college, because when I was back home, I was like messing with girls, and I had messed with a guy, but I wasn't like out. And when I went to college, I got introduced to like a bunch of different gay people, because once you go off to college, you see a bunch of different people. So
Yeah, because they come out of the closet after they leave high school.
Yeah. So my first experience around a bunch of gay people was a bunch of different kinds of gay people.
Yeah.
So I don't think I started off feminine. I just always been this way.
Well, you perhaps was one of the lucky few.
Yeah.
Because a lot of gay people, when they first come out, when they first, I guess, find themselves, who they gravitate to is usually the more feminine.
That they imitate.
It's usually the more feminine people, because feminine people be around their parents. Feminine people is like popular in the neighborhood. Feminine people making all the money. They want to be like this feminine person, and so they elude that persona.
How can people support, vend, or sponsor the Juneteenth event?
Give the money. Send me volunteers. Like there are absolutely slots open for sponsorship. There's still spots open for vendors. If you are a Black-owned business and you have a product, holler at me. My prices are very reasonable for this 6-hour event. But yeah, so I still have slots for vendors. I have slots for food trucks, and I have the slots for sponsorships ain't gonna close. That's just no.
Always
Yeah, always open. Always open. Just go ahead and just pour your money into this. It's a good investment now. So yeah.
Do you have any deal breakers in a relationship?
I'm not a fan of the fight.
The what?
The fight.
Oh,
Fighting,
like
and then the next thing you know, we over here fucking like
Makeup sex
I
be
am.
good, though.
It do be good. It do be good. I'm not gonna take away from that or whatever. But like as it stands with me, like I don't have no medium or whatever. I'm either not gonna fight you or I'm gonna fuck you up. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not.
That's
I am not a fan of that. And I've only been in one truly abusive relationship, and we know about that one or whatnot. And so for a long time inside of that relationship, I didn't fight back because I didn't have a medium. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, you feel like you would've snapped?
And being young. No. It's just being young, dumb, and in love, thinking that was in love or whatever,
Oh, I
or
got you.
thinking,
That's what love
you know,
look like.
waiting. Yeah, not necessarily that's what love looked like, but just I think it was more so of being confused of why. You know what I'm saying? And then also sitting up there turning the why into, well, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different things within inside of that or whatever. But one thing that's consistent as of now, like that I know of, listen. If I already feel like you trying to dominate me and tell me what to do, like I'm your subservient and stuff like that, like that's a deal breaker.
So
if you fighting in the street with the person who you with or whatever the case may be, that's a deal breaker. Because I mean, like, I could understand if we inside the house, we get upset or whatever the case may be, and maybe a slap or something happen or whatever. That's completely different. But if y'all hard down fighting or whatever, like,
So when you
That's a
said
deal breaker
fighting,
for
I
me.
was thinking like argument fighting.
no, I'm
When you talking about like fighting.
I'm talking about physical. I'm talking about physical. I mean, like, there's going to be arguments. There's going to be arguments because a lot of people don't necessarily know how to fight, just like how people don't know how to love, right? And we have to also include and understand within that people don't necessarily know how to communicate. And that's like really up there because they're so used to the social media thing or whatever. Or not as before even social media, the text. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my text in and I'm gonna shut my phone off so I don't have to hear. You get what I mean? Or, because some teachers don't know how to read no way. So it's not like they, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they reading that whole paragraph that you done put when you done put a, you know what I'm saying?
They spot read.
Right, you know what I'm saying? They get tired, they go cockeyed after a few lines and they be like, oh no, no, okay. Yeah, so that is definitely consistent with me. Like, that's a turn off. Like, I'm not here for the fight or whatever. Everything else we could work through or whatever. But if I feel like we got to fight,
It's a wrap.
it's a done dado.
In your mind, what does the Juneteenth event look like?
I see a packed out park.
Okay.
I see a packed out park. We have the playground in the background of our pavilion. I see parents sitting up there watching their kids. I see a flea market of Black vendors that I'm able to put together underneath tents for Black folks to go and support our fellow brothers and sisters that's making soaps and oils and making clothes and accessories and whatever else is offered. I see them taking advantage and spending money with inside of our community, inside of the Black food trucks, the vendors, because incorporating them to me just takes it to the whole nother level or whatnot. In my eyes, it is definitely a big celebration of us just being Black and excellent.
We do want to thank you for coming again to join us on the channel. And we're looking forward to your Juneteenth event. We definitely. Why you laughing?
In truth, see, already being shaded. I thank y'all for being as supportive as you have been. I can't thank you enough for at least just doing this for me or whatnot. Like it means the world. And y'all know my word is my bond. That's really all I have. I'm gonna let you know now that I'll never forget it. And if you need me and it's in my reach, you already know I got you.
We know.
We know, we believe that.
Aww.
Stop that shit.
Now, with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell that friend, cousins, nieces, nephew, brothers, uncles, grandmas, great-grandmas, granddaddies, and
Extended cousins
too,
and price removed.
and all of those things. And Tiana, say hi.
And if by some chance you can find those videos from his old Twitter or from Enrique Cruz.
Oh
please
my,
send
y'all
them
ain't
to
gonna find the
lifewithjjo
Enrique Cruz shit. I can guarantee
And
you
I
ain't gonna
thank you.
find that.
Yes.
Because I looked.
But yeah, bye guys.
Bye.
We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Solid. That's the look. That's the heart thing, right? Oh,
That's a heart.
oh, that's really that. Oh,
That heart is a
that's
little-
that's
That heart is a little smush.
Who heart smush?
Right
I'm
there.
gone. Okay. Oh damn. This is the shit right here. Unmic me now.